Good day, everyone, and welcome again to our another vlog. Today we will be talking about violence against women. As defined by Plan for Women Safety.dss.gov.au, violence against women does not mean only physical violence. It's much more broader, including sexual, emotional, psychological, and financial abuse. On the international level, the United Nations declared on the elimination of violence against women provides the following definition. The term violence against women means any act of gender-based violence that results in or is likely to result in physical, sexual, psychological harm or suffering to women, including threats of such acts, coercion, or arbitrary deprivation of liberty.
So, what are the effects of violence against women? Violence against women can cause long-term physical and mental health problems. Violence and abuse affect not just the women involved but also their children, families, and communities. These effects include harm to an individual's health, possibly long-term harm to children, and harm to communities, such as lost work and homelessness. The short-term physical effects of violence can include minor injuries or serious conditions. They can include broken bones or injuries to organs and other parts inside of your body. Some physical injuries are difficult or impossible to see without scans, x-rays, or other tests done by a doctor or nurse. Short-term physical effects of sexual violence can include vaginal bleeding or pelvic pain, unwanted pregnancy, sexually transmitted infections, STIs including HIV, trouble sleeping or nightmares. If you are pregnant, a physical injury can hurt you and the unborn child. This is also true in some cases of sexual assault. If you are sexually assaulted by the person you live with and you have children in the home, think about your children's safety also. Violence in the home often includes child abuse. Number 1, many children who witnesses violence in the home are also victims of physical abuse. Violence against women, including sexual or physical violence, is linked to many long-term health problems. This can be include asthma, chronic pain, digestive problems such as stomach ulcers, heart problems, irritable bowel syndrome, nightmares and problems sleeping, migraine headaches, sexual problems such as pain during sex, stress, problems with the immune system. Many women also have mental health problems after violence. If you have experienced a physical or sexual assault, you may feel many emotions: fear, confusion, anger, or even being numb and not feeling much of anything. You may feel guilt or shame over being assaulted. Some people try to minimize the abuse or hide it by covering and making excuses for the abuser. Long-term mental health effects of violence against women can include post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD. This can be as a result of experiencing trauma or having a shocking or scary experience, such as sexual assault or physical abuse. Number 6, you may be easily startled, feel tense or edge, angry outbursts. You may also have trouble remembering things or have negative thoughts about yourself or others. It may include also that depression is a serious illness, but you can get help to feel better. If you are feeling depressed, talk to a mental health professional. We can also include the anxiety. This can be a general anxiety about everything, or it can be a sudden attack of intense fear. Anxiety can get worse over time and interfere with your daily life. Many women have experienced violence, cope with this trauma by using drugs, drinking alcohol, smoking, or overeating. Research shows that about 90% of women with substances youth problems had experienced physical or sexual violence. And also sometimes violence against women ends in death. More than half of women who are murdered each year are killed by an partner. 1 in 10 of these women experience violence in the month before their death.
Violence against women. Violence against women appears as one of the country's pervasive social problems. According to the 2017 National Demographic and Health Survey conducted by the Philippine Statistics Authority, 1 in 4 Filipino women aged 15 to 49 has experienced physical, emotional, or sexual violence by their husband or partner. It is indeed alarming that despite efforts to address the concern, violence against women persists. Violence against women is deemed to be closely linked with an equal power relation between women and men, otherwise known as gender-based violence. Societal norms and traditions dictate people to think that men are the leaders, pursuers, and providers, and take on the dominant roles in society, while women are the nurturers, men, companions, and supporters, and take on the subordinate role in society. The perception leads men to gain more power over women. Hence, violence against women become a form of men's expression of control over women to retain power. As defined by UN Declaration on the Elimination of Violence Against Women, 1993, violence against women is any act of gender-based violence that results in or is likely to result in physical, sexual, or psychological harm or suffering to women, includes threats of such acts, correction, or arbitrary deprivation of liberty. Whether occurring in public or in private life, gender-based violence is any violence inflicted on women because of their sex. According to the Republic Act 9262, or the Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act of 2004, violence against women is any act of or a series of acts committed by any person against a woman who is his wife, former wife, or against a woman with whom the person has or had a sexual dating relationship, or with whom he was common child, or against her child, whether legitimate or illegitimate, with or without the family abad, which result in or is likely to result in physical, sexual, psychological harm, suffering, or economic abuse, including threats of such act, battery, assault, correction, harassment, or arbitrary deprivation liberty. In the Philippines, some realities that contribute to the vulnerability of Filipino women to violence against women are accused as naggers or neglectful of their duties as wife. That is why they are being beaten by their spouse or being raped due to her flirtatious ways. In some instances, feeling for a sexual harassment is interpreted by her employer as being malicious on the appreciation of her good looks. Moreover, an even greater problem is the lack of concrete information to show the extent of violence against women in the country, as many cases of violence against women often go unreported due to women victims' culture of silence. Many of the victims are ashamed to relate their experiences, while others tend to dismiss their ordeal as a result of their lack of faith in the country's justice system caused by frustrations over the lack of results in filing complaints. Several government mechanisms have already been put in place to address violence against women. Non-government organizations also take part in the crusade. It is uncertain when this trend will totally diminish in the Philippines, stating but as long as current efforts to fight violence against women are sustained, hope could be set high.
In conclusion, violence against women have been a major problem of our society. So, our government and non-government bodies make sure that violence against women should be eliminated in every household and every community. Once again, thank you and good day to all.